the virgin birth, and Ariel said if you can't see it the right way, teach it the right way, you can step. And then you said Yahweh Ba, Shem Yahweh Shai, Barakatah, then you step. But you said the name of the Lord. How do you, and you still saying it on your, even though out of your mouth you say Christ this and Christ that, but on your video, the description box of your video, it says Yahweh Shai, and I believe it says Yahweh. Well, how do you know that that's the Most High's name?
Yeah, that's a good point.
But did you go to some so-called Jew? Did you go to the yeshiva?
Hebrew Academy.
The Hebrew Academy among them so-called Jews and learn the Hebrew? Maybe that's what he was doing for 17 years.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe he went to Israel, to Tel Aviv, you know,
like
and attended the gay parade and learned some Hebrew.
Like that rapper Shine.
And then he said, well, you know what? Ariel didn't go off on this. He was right. Rabbi Yadinowitz, he said Ariel was right, so I'm going to keep that. That's bullshit, man. That shows you how you pick and you choose what you want to pick. That's a game that you're playing on them dudes. We don't give a shit about you.
That's right.
You know, we're concerned about these guys that you're going to take. But if those guys are not of the elect, then the hell with them too. May they be destroyed. Right. But we do know that you're going to be destroyed.
Yep.
That's guaranteed, man. You know, you're going to be destroyed. Johanna going to be destroyed. Comfy, he's damn sure going to be destroyed. Yeshaya going to be destroyed. Gazak going to be destroyed. Lahab, he going to be destroyed. All right, all them guys are going to be destroyed. And guess what? You're going to be destroyed.
That's right.
Now give me Luke, the 6th chapter, and the 39th verse on down. And I said to myself, the topic that I wanted to get in was on you, and I pretty much put it up as an open forum, so maybe we can go into something else. But this is the spirit. You know? You talking about the spirit jumped on you, and the spirit just jumped on us. So don't get mad when, you know, they always talking about, look, it ain't us talking. It's the Father speaking through us. All right? Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shai, not Christ.
That's right.
All right? Go ahead.
This is the book of Luke, chapter 6, verse 36. Be ye therefore merciful, as your Father also is merciful. Judge not, and you shall not be judged. Condemn not, and you shall not be condemned. Forgive, and you shall be forgiven. Give, and it shall be given unto you, good measure, pressed down and shaken together, and running over shall men give into your bosom. For with the same measure that you meet withal, it shall be measured to you again. And he spake a parable unto them. Can the blind lead the blind? Shall they not both fall into the ditch?
Yeah, those guys that are blindly following you, man, you're going to fall into a ditch, and they're going to fall into a ditch following you. You're blind, and they're blind. Like I said earlier, I said you got so many holes in that cheap doctrine of yours, man. That, like I said, that's why you're putting up private videos. That's why when comments come to you, you don't address the comments. All right, you take the comments down. You got comment pending approval. That shows you that little bullshit doctrine that you got is weak as hell. Go ahead.
It says, the disciple is not above his master, but everyone that is perfect shall be as his master. And why beholdest thou...
shall be as his master. Everyone that is perfect shall be as his master. Now you said no one can keep the law. It's impossible to keep the law. Well, did the Lord keep the law? Didn't the Lord say you got to be perfect like your master is perfect? Didn't the Lord say in and we went through this last week, Matthew's Matthew 5 and 17 on down? It says if you do not exceed the righteousness of the Pharisees, you shall in no wise enter into the kingdom. So if the scribes and the Pharisees claim that they kept the law, you have to keep the law even better than them. Go ahead.
It says, and why beholdest thou the mote that is in thy brother's eye, but perceivest not the beam that is in thine own eye? Either how canst thou say to thy brother, Brother, let me pull out the mote that is in thine eye, when thou thyself beholdest not the beam that is in thine own eye? Thou hypocrite, cast out first the beam out of thine own eye, and then shalt thou see clearly to pull out the mote that is in thy brother's eye. For a good tree bringeth not forth corrupt fruit, neither does a corrupt tree bring forth good fruit. For every tree is known by his own fruits. For of thorns men do not gather figs, nor of a bramble bush gather they grapes. A good man out of the good treasure of his heart bringeth forth that which is good, and an evil man out of the evil treasure of his heart bringeth forth that which is evil. For of the abundance of the heart his mouth speaketh. And why?
Yeah, that's you. You're speaking from the abundance of your heart. And it tells you that in Jeremiah. Matter of fact, give me that too, right quick. Yep. Was that 17 and 9? Go ahead.
Jeremiah 17 and 9. The heart is deceitful above all things and desperately wicked. Who can know it?
Yeah, so you got a lot of wicked treasures in your heart, man. Go ahead.
This is back in Luke 6 and 46. And why call ye me Lord, Lord, and do not the things which I say? Whosoever cometh to me.
Yeah, the Lord said to keep the law. Oh, give me the story of Mary Magdalene, where she was condemned by the scribes and the Pharisees. Because we're going to see if this guy made the statement. I'm talking about Yashawan. He made the statement that that it was impossible to keep the law. So the Most High did away with the law. Well, why would the Most High create people and create them to mess up and give them the law, knowing that they can't keep the law, to jack them up? That doesn't. You always say that don't make no sense. Like you make sense, The Most High gave you the law for you to keep the law. So you're telling me committing adultery? Well, I tried not to commit adultery with that chick, but her ass was too big. The Most High don't want to hear that, man, and the husband don't want to hear that either. You go and pop a damn woman and let her husband bust it. Let him be a goddamn correction officer, him coming off the damn job, and he sees you laying a pipe to his woman, and then you going to tell him, well, brother, the law is done away with. He ain't going to hear that, man. He going to blow your fucking head off, man. Talking about it's impossible to keep the law. We keep the law. We got bears on our face. All right, we don't eat pork. We don't eat shrimp. We don't eat lobster. We keep the high holy days. And then the scriptures tell you keep the high holy days through all your generations, as it is to this very day. So you playing a game, man. You pimping them guys. Them guys that are following you, and believe me, those guys are not deep. Like I said before, those guys are not deep researchers. You know how we know that? Because you're not a deep researcher. We showed you in part 10 of last week's show, which is Beware of Reprobate Demons, part 10. When you go to part 10, you went to Luke, the 3rd chapter, talking about, it says, as was supposed. Read it, you see it? Well, if you understood the English language, you would know what a parenthesis is. You would know that that's an afterthought. So you didn't even do no research before you came out and said that. But those guys do even less. Well, them guys don't do no research, man. Whatever you say, they're just going to blindly follow. They're just spectators, lost Israelites. Go ahead.
John chapter 8 verse 1. Yahushua went unto the Mount of Olives, and early in the morning he came again into the temple, and all the people came unto him, and he sat down and taught them. And the scribes and Pharisees brought unto him a woman taken in adultery, and when they had set her in the midst, they say unto him, Master, this woman was taken in adultery in the very act. Now Moses in the law commanded us that such should be stoned, but what sayest thou?
Well, now the Lord should have pretty much said, well, the Lord's done away with. You can do whatever the hell you want. Go ahead.
This they said, tempting him, that they might have to accuse him. But Yahushua stooped down, and with his finger wrote on the ground, as though he heard them not. So when they continued asking him, he lifted up.
Maybe you wrote, the law is done away with. The law is done away with. You can do whatever you want. Go ahead.
So when they continued asking him, he lifted up himself and said unto them, He that is without sin among you, let him cast the first stone. I'm sorry, let him.